In a show of force, the U.S. says it's preparing to deploy a sophisticated anti-missile defense system in Israel, along with 100 troops to operate it. It's the first time American troops will actually operate in Israel since Hamas's terrorist attack on October 7th. And it comes as militants from the Iranian-backed terror group Hezbollah in Lebanon fired more than 300 projectiles into Israel over the weekend, including a swarm of drones that hit a dining hall in an Israeli military base about 30 miles north of Tel Aviv. And as fears are widening of a widening war is growing, Lebanese civilians are already suffering. Hundreds of thousands of people have actually been displaced since Israel began its ground offensive into Lebanon. Our Patrick Reevell has a closer look for us.
A family at the beach in Beirut. But this isn't a vacation. They're fleeing war. 67-year-old Bassem has been living on the beach with his sons for 17 days, like thousands fleeing intense Israeli strikes on southern Beirut. The bombing was very close to my house, he says. We felt like the world was collapsing. We fled without even taking my medication, Bassem tells us. I have chronic illnesses. We didn't take mattresses or blankets or even clothes.
The people are just camped out here. Most of them have come from the south since Israel began bombing there. And while it's warm right now, the worry is, of course, that winter is coming and these people have basically no shelter.
Israel's onslaught into Lebanon has already forced over 1.2 million people from their homes. 1/5 of Lebanon's population. This drone video posted by pro-IDF accounts showing the scale of the devastation in one border town. The images undeniably recalling Gaza.
Just afraid they're going to fall off.
Lebanon was already in deep crisis. Aid has to come from ordinary people and volunteer organizations.
You have your pot pillows here. I think those are going to the Red Cross tomorrow. More pillows over there. I don't know who those are going for.
Maya Ayash is fundraising to buy and distribute mattresses and bedding.
We don't have a government right now to provide us humanitarian aid. And we've been doing this so many times before, unfortunately. I remember when I was 12 during the 2006 war, I was making care packages for people in the South. It's like this is a completely different ballgame.
Do you feel it's going to last for a long time?
Every time I have a little bit of hope, Israel bombs it out of me. I really think it's going to last a while, unfortunately.
Other volunteer groups are providing food. Nation Station's 120 volunteers now make 4,000 meals a day. It's still a drop in the ocean of need. A long war means more misery. Many of those living on the beach are Syrian. They already fled their own country's civil war. An Israeli airstrike destroyed the house Tharbad was living in southern Lebanon. We barely got used to the feeling of safety here in Lebanon, he says, only for the same feeling of panic we fled from in Syria to return to us. These people have nowhere to go, and most in Lebanon believe even darker days are ahead.